I keep hearing the words, well, with your new life, you're messing up. Uh, I don't have a new life, so I don't understand what anybody's talking about. I am still the same person I was, except closer to God, and nobody's going to take that away from me, nor am I walking away from God. If you're talking about me singing songs, it's because my doctor told me I needed an outlet for all the stuff that I had pushed down during my life and padlocked, and it was coming out in my fists. I didn't want to have to say this to everybody, but since everybody thinks that I'm doing bad, I'm not doing bad. Um, I was in martial arts, they were having to get me off of people because I had so much pushed down. And like I said, I padlocked it down there and I wouldn't let it out. Um, I had to have a way to let it out. My parents both had bands when they met, even though they were not, excuse me, very good parents. They still had bands. I come from a musical background, and the only way I could get it out without beating the crap out of somebody and having to have 5 or 6 people get me off of them was until I was able to get my self control together was to sing it out, play my guitar, and God showed me how. And this is God's honest truth. I sit down one day at a piano and I was in a church and I told God I want to learn how to play piano. And all of a sudden, my fingers started playing it, and I play by ear. Uh, I've never studied music, and the songs that I play on video are the first songs that he showed me how to play, and I dedicated them to God. I have not changed. I am closer to Him than I've ever been in my life. So for people that assume things about me, don't don't judge me. I am doing. God knows why I'm doing it. He knows that I've got to get that stuff out of me because if I don't, then I will probably blow from internal combustion from keeping it inside so long. Um, you have no idea what I went through as a child. Okay. And it comes up with you. You don't forget. Okay, you do not forget. I've been traumatized all my life in one form or another, even by one of my father's best friends that was in his band. And I'll stop right there. Because of that, I was unable to have children. Um, so and the beatings and all that, watching my mother get beat up and having to jump on my father's back and get him off of her, and then she'd have to jump on him to get him off of me, and it was just one bad, traumatic, long life that I ran from at the age of 12 when he cut her and put us out of the car. And I ran and got her help, and I took my siblings, and the Holy Spirit had me, and He led me to one of the most beautiful mountains I've ever seen in my life. And I had a great big box of matches, and we stayed there. My brother and my sister was younger than I, and we stayed there until I ran completely out of matches. I tried not to. but it got a little cold. Um, as long as I had a fire, I was able to fight off. Well, I didn't really have to fight off animals. They would come and lay around the fire. And the only ones that gave me a little bit of a scare was well, it don't matter. What gave me a little bit of a scare after about a month, they were used to me, and now all animals are used to me. I don't think there's an animal on this earth that would hurt me unless it's something cold blooded. And I don't think it would hurt me then. My mother laid me down on a blanket. I think the old school word for it, as she called it, was a pallet. As a blanket folded up right after I was born. And we were living in Florida. That's where my father was stationed at. Four snakes curled up or coiled up, or whatever you want to call it, on each corner of that pallet. And one of them was a king snake. The king snake ate the other ones whole. And Mama left me laying there. And I was a little bitty baby, so I don't remember it at all. But I was a newborn. I don't know what they had planned, but I don't think it was going to be good. The king snake lay down beside me and went to sleep as he ate the other snakes. And then Mama come got me. I said, well, just how long was you planning on leaving me out there, Mother? And she said, oh, that snake knew I was watching it. She was scared. And I said, okay. But the only thing I can figure is the angel um, was inside that king snake because a king snake won't hurt you. Um, there are cobras that protect children. Okay. So, hey, I was lucky, I guess. I should have been dead for her leaving me out there with, she said, three of them were poisonous. She could tell by the shapes of their heads. But the king snake, she said, looked like he was about 9 foot long, and the other three didn't have a chance. So um, we moved from that area, she said, shortly afterwards. Anyway, to make a long story short, my whole life has been trauma. Okay. And I took my siblings at 12 after I got her some help. An ambulance picked her up, and nobody came looking for us. Not a soul. And we had a blast. And there was fresh water coming off the side of the mountain. And it was the same mountain that he led me to, that I had asked my mom once when we passed by it, and they got lost. And I've always known things ahead of time or dreamed things. And I dreamed that we were going to get lost while my dad was driving. And we did. And we just happened to stop right beside that mountain. And in my dream, we were lost, and he pulled over on the side of the road. And I said, Dad, and I was little, I said, you see that road right over there? I didn't say left or right. I said, you see that road right over there? He said, yeah. I said, where you wanting to go is right up there on the hill. And I said, they got a big white horse named White Beauty, and I want to ride her. Then a dream. They both turned around and looked at me at the same time with their mouths open, and they simultaneously said, how do you know that? And I told them I dreamed it. They talked about that for 6, 7 months, maybe a year, I don't know. But he did what I said. He went up the road, and there they were. And they had a big white horse named White Beauty. And in my mind, she clotheslined me. I think it was God's way of letting me know, hey, don't get on that horse. But see, I was young and I didn't understand what he was trying to say. His ways are not our ways. So don't judge anybody, lest you be judged yourself, not by me, but by God. Um, my outlet is singing. It doesn't mean that's what I am or who I am unless it's a hymn or something that I wrote for God or something that I'm singing to God or about God that I am. But if it's other songs, it's just something that's down inside of me that's got words in it that reminds me of something that I went through and I had to get it out and it comes out in the song. Like shaking my fist or something like that, or doing knife hands or something like that. It's all the pain that I went through. So please, I have not changed my life. I am not drinking. I am not going out to bars. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not sinning. I'm not having sex with anybody. I am not doing anything that I'm not supposed to be doing. Okay. I still feed people peanut butter sandwiches and jelly sandwiches or whatever I've got in the house that I can feed them. I still do everything that I'm supposed to do. Don't judge me. Don't assume that you know somebody unless you know them. Okay? Um, just don't. It's not cool. You know. Um, no, my life hasn't changed. My life has gotten better. I have gotten rid of so much stuff that had the padlock came off, and so much of the stuff that I had pushed down, like leather straps in my face telling me to keep my mouth shut, shut, shut. Don't tell Mama that he was doing this, and don't tell Mama. And I never told her because it would have killed her. It would have broke her heart. Stuff like that that I've had to carry around, and you have no idea what I've been through. So please don't judge me. Um, I don't judge anybody, and if I've ever done anything, and I can't really talk because people always assume that I'm talking about them, whoever I'm talking to, and I'm not. I'm just talking in general. So the best thing for me to do is not talk unless it's something like this, explaining myself. And I always feel like I have to explain myself to everybody. Um, so I'm doing it one last time, I hope. Don't judge me. Don't assume that you know what I'm doing when you don't. Okay? Now, I love everybody in the world. I am a peacemaker. Uh, Shalom is one of God's names, which is peace. Um, I'm learning all of his names, and he's got a lot of them. Okay? And I love God, and I love Jesus, and I love the Holy Spirit. And without them, I would not have made it. And they have saved my life so many times, you would not believe it. And there's no use in telling you because you're going to call me a liar. Most of you will call me a liar. I have been saved many times, many, many, many times. I should be dead. Not by what's happening recently, but as growing up, you know, uh, what's happened where somebody was trying to kill me recently. It won't happen. If I didn't die when, I mean, when I was under the water looking up at the little bubbles and the sun rays coming down, and I hear something beside me say jump, and I thought it was my grandfather, and I turned around and looked and just grinned because I knew there wasn't nobody there, wasn't nobody with me. I fell in a sinkhole, and all of a sudden, a force like I've never felt in my life pushed me slap out of the water. And this is God's honest truth. Slapped out of the water, and I landed flat footed on solid ground. I was out the hole. And I went, but it was, I think, try to catch my breath and the force from the push all at the same time. Now, that's all I got to say about any of it. But I've heard this said about, I don't know, probably 10 times this week. What are you going to do about this, and what are you going to do about that? I'm not going to do nothing about nothing because God knows what I'm doing. And if He's okay with it, then everybody else should be okay with it. Okay. Okay. Everybody's got to have an outlet for stuff that I've got, like stuff that I have. If you got stuff inside of you that's got to come out, you got to have an outlet. You don't want to go around fighting the rest of your life. So I finally got, I, when I padlocked it down, I finally had my self control. But it started trying to edge its way out because of things that people were saying about me and saying to me and leaving nasty little messages on me and stuff like that. So they were trying to stir it up again, and I had to unstir it, so to speak. And I'm still unstirring. And I got help. God sent me help, 5 of them, and they're still hanging around. You know, um, I showed you pictures. It's up to you whether you believe what it is or not. I really don't. I really don't care. I know what they are. Um, so that's all I got to say. I love all of you. I love everybody in the world unconditionally in a godly way. I made a mistake of saying I love everybody, and they got the wrong idea. And all of a sudden, I had uh, thousands of dates, thousands of guys wanting to take me out. I'm no, no, um, no, that's out. Um, I didn't come online to find anybody to go out with. Now, I played some games with some people, just cutting a food, just have something to do. I got judged for that. Okay. It don't matter what I do, I'm going to get judged for it. I have got the biggest heart in the world, I believe. And I'm an empath. And I have to stay away from a lot of people. But I can pick up on negative and positive energy at the same time. And that's rough. So I pretty much stay to myself. I have to. Um, it will drain you. It will drain you. And then I got stuck with a narcissist. And oh my. And then I married the same kind of guy that my dad was. And oh my. Another 12 years of abuse. So please do not judge me. Don't judge anybody unless you walked in their shoes. Don't. And then I lost my fiance, whom I loved very much. Um, he made it through all the wars that he was in. He gets back home and he takes his own life because he can't deal with it here. So you have no clue. of what you're saying or what you're trying to do for those of you that are judging me. I beg of you. No, I'm not going to beg of you. I'm telling you, please stop. Just stop. Put the shoe on the other foot. How would you feel? I'm a God fearing soul. Remember that. Remember that. I hope you all have a blessed day. Much love, honor, and respect to each and every one of you.